So, Andrew, can you tell us why you think a person should join a clinical trial? What are the advantages of that for them and the pros?
Yeah, and this is actually a question that a patient will sometimes ask when he or she is debating whether or not to join a study. I will tell them first and foremost that I hope that this study benefits you individually. Sometimes these are patients who have run out of good options in terms of what we can offer them as far as standard of care treatment goes. And so they're left with participating in a clinical trial, testing something novel and exciting. And so I do tell them that my hope by your entering this study is that we'll see some very promising evidence of activity that benefits you personally. I will also mention to them that there is an altruistic aspect to their participating in a trial in terms of the fact that they are helping others, they're helping advance medical science, that any drug that we currently use has gone through the rigor of clinical trials, and that we've really built on the experiences and what we've learned from clinical trials to allow drugs to ultimately gain approval to make an impact on patients. So I'll try to emphasize all of these aspects, both the personal benefit for them aspect as well as the broader benefit that their participating in a study affords.
Absolutely, I couldn't agree more, and I think just always to remind people that, you know, all the tools that we have today to treat their cancer, those drugs went through that same process that we're now talking about, and we have the benefit of those drugs for the person before us because other people participated in trials too. And as you said, we're always hoping that the individual in front of us is going to be the person to benefit, but we recognize that sometimes that isn't the situation, but there's still always something to be learnt by a person's participation in a trial.
Right. I always find sometimes it's a fine line to balance because you want to offer hope through a clinical trial, and certainly we don't open any studies that we don't think that we can both learn from, but that hopefully will benefit patients. I think we're also very much in a position of never wanting to pressure someone into participating in a study, while at the same time trying to acknowledge the value and importance of it. And so I think having that right balance in terms of what we're trying to achieve with these studies, it's important for us to be able to communicate that effectively with patients and their families.